Hey everyone, Melissa here with Bee and Cozy Stitching, and this week's video is going to be a little bit different. And it's a little bit different because, like the title says, the party is over. What I mean by that is vacation is over and now it's time to get back to work and get going on a few things. But like most people, when you come back from vacation, you've kind of lost your mojo. And so that's what inspired me on today's video, to have just a little conversation with you to find out, what do you do when you lose your quilting mojo? Please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys do when you've lost your inspiration. I'm still on beach time, so it's been kind of slow going, getting back into the workroom and getting things started again. I've made a start with it. I have much more that I'd like to get done, but I thought I'd share with you today and show you some of the things that I got done while I was on vacation. You know, it's really hard when your hobby is your job because, I don't know, I guess because I'm always quilting? There's a thought. But seriously, I would love to show you some of the projects that I got done while I was on vacation and have a little talk with you about them, and then about the few things that I've come across for some inspiration. And because they're inspiration, there'll also be upcoming videos for us to go through. So I'm kind of excited about those too, and I can't wait to share them with you. But as you can see behind me, this is our Funky 4-patch or straight out of line ruler. It was a video that we did earlier, and I'll put a post down below or a link or whatever you want to call it so that you can find it, so that you can see how to put one of these together for yourself. You're going to love it. It's fast, it's easy, it's like the perfect gift. When you're not quilting for other people, you get it done a whole lot quicker than I do. I only have minutes here and there to get things done, but it's one of my favorites and I just love it. So my Funky 4-patch came about because of this fabric right here. This was my inspiration fabric, and I don't know if you can see it or not, so maybe this is a better one. Well, it's kind of upside down, so it's hard for you to see too. But this is my Hawaiian tiki fabric. It was a piece of fabric that my mom gave me, and it was so doggone cute that I pulled all of my other coordinating fabrics to go with it from this fabric, from this blue one right here. And then once I got everything put together, it just wasn't quite big enough for me. I like my quilts to be bigger, and the guys in my family are all 6 foot, and so they need longer, bigger quilts. So I thought I would border this one out. The pattern itself comes in at about a lap-sized quilt. You can make it a little bigger. I think there's another size on the pattern, but you know me, I get into the scraps, I start digging, and before I know it, then I've got a ton more scraps. So this one kind of got a life of its own, and now it's going to be a pretty good queen size quilt by the time that it's done. And then I bordered it out, so I'm gonna show you. Oh, and I also bought some fabric online. Boy, is that different, you guys. Oh, please support your quilt shops, because it's going to be horrible when the only place we can buy our fabric is online. Not that the online companies are doing a bad job, because they're not. The problem is you can't see it, you can't feel it, and you can't really get a good judge of the colors. Everybody's computer screen is a little bit different and distorts the colors just a little bit. But mine was such a giggle because I ordered cotton, and I can't even tell you who I ordered this from. I don't even know. It was supposed to be cotton. It was supposed to be brown as the background color. Mine came white. And it's kind of this satiny, sheeny feeling fabric. So boy, if it doesn't have polyester in it somewhere, oh, I don't know. I don't know, but I figured, you know what? I ordered this stuff. I'm going to use it. And I love the way it looks with the quilt. So wish me luck. In another upcoming video, I will show you when it's completely finished and quilted and how that fabric came out. And if there was anything special I had to do, we can talk about it, so that you can avoid some of the problems too in the future. But with that said, if we look over here, this is the fabric that I ordered over here. This is my little tiki fabric, and as you can see, it came white, and I think that was probably a better idea that it came white. You can see all the colors and things that I have going on here. I've got this nice hot pink border and hot pink binding. Aren't you proud of me? I got the binding done too, so yay! Once it gets off the quilt frame, piece of cake. I will have everything to put it together and help myself get it finished. I'm so proud of myself. But yes, this is my tiki fabric. I will put it on as a border, and I think it'll finish this quilt off really nice. I really do enjoy this one. But along with this one, give me just a minute, I also did some recycling. We recycled shirts, skirts, tablecloths, curtains. What else? I think that's it. But anyway, I ended up getting, and I'll slide down here so that you guys can see just a little bit better. I ended up getting 3 beautiful rugs done. Now this one was my tablecloths and my curtains. So again, we're recycling fabric. You know, that's the thing I love about fabric the most. It starts out as one thing, one project. It's all sewn, it's complete, it's done. But then when you get tired of it, or it wears out in one area, but the rest of it's still good, you can cut it apart and make it into something totally new. And you don't have to feel guilty about changing out your fabrics, like curtains and what have you, sheets, whatever, because you can always use that to make something else. And it's perfect in a rug. So I ended up getting this one done. And then this one here. Now this one is linen skirts and shirts, kind of a different feel. Not quite sure how it's going to wear, but so far it's doing pretty good. I mean, it feels pretty good, it looks pretty good, everything's sewed together nicely. It'll be a good test to see how this one holds up. But yeah, what a great way to use stuff up. You get a stain in a skirt, you don't want to wear it anymore, chop it up and make it into something else. The possibilities are endless. I mean, we can make all kinds of things out of this stuff. And then this one here, this one was just some odds and ends fabrics that we had left over. But again, I thought it was fun. It was something different. Normally we'll put dark on the outside and the light on the inside. But hey, it was vacation, so we wanted to try something different and just kind of mess up, or mix it up is maybe a better word. So now the dark is in the inside and the light is on the outside, and we've got this great little project put together. So I'm really excited about this. Along with getting done some projects, I got a chance to go through all the mail, get caught up on my emails, and get caught up on just all this stuff that I just didn't seem to have enough time to get done. And as I was going through my mail and reading my magazine, and I'm embarrassed to tell you this is probably months old, this poor magazine, but there was a project in here, and this project made me so excited. I couldn't wait to go upstairs and grab. Upstairs is my storage closet, if you will. I couldn't wait to get up there and grab all of my harvested shirts. Remember, we had a video, and I'll put a link so that you can see it. At one point, we harvested a bunch of shirtings to make into other projects, and I cut mine at a 2.5 inch width, and whatever the lengths were, that's what the lengths were. But I ended up with my bundles. So I've got red, white, and blue. And the project that I came across was talking about harvesting shirts for fabric, which was so cool because we did that. And this is the quilt that was made out of that. And so I am super stoked and super excited to show you guys how this comes about and how this project looks when it's all finished. And again, I've harvested it from shirts. We're keeping this stuff out of the landfill and we're giving it another life. We're breathing life into something old and giving it a new purpose, a new place to be. So that's going to be an upcoming video that we have, and I'm really excited about that one. I think that should be fun, and if I'm lucky, it'll be done just in time for Memorial Weekend, maybe. Maybe 4th of July. Who knows? Who cares? It's just the process in itself is fun to do. One of the other magazines that I came across was my Better Homes and Gardens, and I actually got to page through it. I don't know about you guys, but I love to sit in the backyard in the sunshine with a cool breeze and have a glass of lemonade or iced tea and just page through the magazine and see what's new, see what's trending, see what people are doing. I don't know, I was just so excited about it. But I came up with 2 other inspiration ideas and I couldn't wait to share them with you. So in this magazine, they talk about upcoming colors, you know, what the upcoming trend is for paint colors and that kind of thing. And then they give you different samples of paint and some different textures behind it, and basically they show you what the palette is for right now. And I thought, wouldn't that be just the coolest quilt challenge ever? Because they've already picked the colors. I just have to match my fabrics to the colors that they've already selected, and you know, let the fabric dictate what the pattern's going to be, because you have to know what size fabric or how much fabric before you can pick out the pattern. But anyway, so I'll be going through my fabric scraps and putting them into piles that match these fabric paint colors, and then making a quilt out of that. And I can't wait to go through that with you and show you how to get that done. And maybe you too can go get a Better Homes and Garden and look at the paint samples. They change every month. I don't know if you want to make a new quilt every month out of a challenge, but you might, you just might. And then the other one that I came across, now this one's stretching it, so you gotta work with me a little bit on this one. This one is a picture right here, and I don't even know if you can see it. It's a bunch of different peppers in a range of colors. And I thought, oh, those colors are so cool. Wouldn't that be neat as a quilt? Well, then I got to thinking even more. I don't know if you have ever quilted in little rectangular bricks, but wouldn't it be cool to do bricks and offset these things? So I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to write together or put together a pattern on how to do this, and I will put the colors in there, and then you and I can make a bricks quilt together in some really warm, happy, exciting colors. I think it'll be a fun project, and I'm looking forward to putting that pattern together for you guys and see what we can come up with. If you choose to use different colors, good on you. Send me pictures though, because I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it at all. But so that's pretty much what I did for my vacation. It went by way too quick. I wish I'd had more beach time and maybe less work time, quilt time, cleaning time. We did a lot of cleaning, got everything put together. So that was good. Also did some foraging through my storage room. Found some different bins of fabric. When I went up there at first, it was this great big room just loaded full of fabrics and supplies and everything else, and it was all over the place, and it was so overwhelming to walk in there. I just wanted to walk back out and shut the door. But like all things, it's a process. And with most things in life, it's one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time. So for me, it's going to be one box at a time. And I'd like to show you the box that I have selected, and then we can kind of talk about where we're going to go from there. So let me grab that box and then we can go. Okay, so this was the first box that I grabbed. And yeah, it looked like this. Yeah, it's overflowing. Yeah, the lids are just placed on top of it. But you know what? It was the very first box that was the closest to the door, and I grabbed it and ran. I wanted to get out of that room as soon as possible. And then I started looking at it and I thought, oh, you know what? I sure wish that you had picked a funner box to get into. But then I really started digging in this box and I found some rather interesting things. Look at this. It's a whole stack of blocks. They're all put together. And all I have to do, they're even full of cat hair, if you can believe it. But all I have to do, yeah, see, that's bad when you get into this stuff and it's been in a closet for a while. But all I have to do is find a background fabric for these blocks, and I have a quilt all put together. So now that I took all the blocks out of the box and I got them all laid up on the design wall here, you can see this is going to be really, really pretty. I don't know how big of a border I'm going to put in between. I don't know what color yet. I'm going to let them sit and stew on the wall here for a while and let it kind of grow on me, and I'll figure it out what I want to put in there. But the fun part about all these scraps is that you get a peek into everybody's different sewing boxes and who's got what, and that's why I love to save scraps, because they can just, none of these go together, yet they all go together. That's the most wonderful thing about a scrap quilt. So yeah, we're gonna let this sit on the wall, let it stew and bake for a while, and see what kind of projects we can come up with. And I can't wait to show you when it's all done. So now you're asking me, okay, we have all these lovely blocks on the wall. We're gonna make those into a quilt. That's a given. But what do you do with the rest of the box? Well, the rest of the box is kind of interesting. So let's go down to the box. And as you can see, or maybe you can't see, we've got some beautiful fall fabric here with some pumpkins and beautiful oranges and greens and blacks. I think this will make a wonderful fall quilt. So this one I'm not going to cut up too much because I want to use this band on something. So pretty much I'm going to cut this one 1/4 of an inch on the other side, and then what I have left over here I'll cut into 2.5 inch strips. As for the rest of this box, because I've got such a hodgepodge of things going on here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut everything into 10-inch strips, 5-inch strips, 2.5-inch strips, and then whatever scraps are left I'll put in a box that I save for strings that I can use for other projects. Pretty much all of the quilts that I make, I use the layer cakes, the charms, or the jelly rolls. And so I think that'll work out really nice, and it will actually make this fabric fit in this box again. And then it'll be all set and ready to go. And once I have everything cut into those piles, then I'll look and see what I have and what would make a good collection. Like put the brights together, maybe put the subdued country together. I'll figure it out once I figure out what exactly I have. Look for a really neat background fabric, and then I'm going to make some different quilts out of that, and those two are going to be upcoming videos and projects. And so you'll get to see the progress of the box. You'll get to see what it actually looks like once I've tamed this lovely little mess. And yeah, so that's gonna be pretty much it for this week, everybody. I'm so glad you tuned in, and I'm so glad we had this time together this week to just kind of sit and chat and catch up and, gather our steam for the fall ahead. We've got National Sewing Month coming up in September, so everybody needs to oil their machines, get them all cleaned up, oiled, ready to sew. Grab your box of fabric that you want to challenge yourself into making some projects with. Organize your storage space. Get your creative mojo flowing again and all that good stuff. But for now, I have to say goodbye. I look forward to seeing you next week. So thank you again for tuning in, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now. Happy stitching!